So this will be on trail day number 147. It is Friday, December 4th, 2020. Stayed last night here at the Jenny Knob shelter. I put my hammock and tarp up back here. It was a little wet from yesterday morning when all my brass and all had condensated and frosted to the inside. So there was twice last night that come a small sprinkle shower, but it's dry now, so I'm going to try to get it taken down real quick. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so getting a decent start. Goal for today is to do about 9.7 miles to the next shelter. The rain's supposed to start around 2, and then it's like 30-something% at 2, and then it quickly gets up to 100%. And it's showing like 3/4 to 1 inch of rain tonight, so I want to make some miles south, but I'm not about hiking in that when it's 30-something degrees. So I'll get to the next shelter and post up in the shelter for the night, and the rain's supposed to be gone in the morning, although it's supposed to be in the 20s by in the morning, and I think barely in the 30s tomorrow. So we'll see if all this rain freezes. But yeah, that's the plan for today, is try to beat the rain to the next shelter. So I'm about a mile from the shelter. There you can see the trail come up kind of through this gully. It's going north. I'm kind of going uphill, but it's a gradual. It's a little chilly, but it's not. It's probably, well, yesterday was the warmest as far as in the day, but probably the warmest morning in a while. I put my raincoat on, but I got the pit zips open, the pockets open, and the front unzipped. Hopefully I won't get too hot. I can always slide the sleeves up. I took my wool base layer and all off. I didn't want it to get wet. But hopefully we'll get real lucky and beat this rain. Not sure what that's all about, but alright. We are right by a road, so I could make a guess, but we'll leave it at that. So far the rain's holding off. We still got a little ways to go. Roanoke ATC. Almost looks like the sun wants to come out over there, but a pair of shoes hanging over there. But from looking at the sky, I don't think we're going to see much of a sun today. Well, there's the Rock 600. 600 miles from here to Springer Mountain, Georgia. Doesn't seem like that many, does it? I've already done 600 almost 3 times, so what's one more? If this weather to cooperate, I hope it's supposed to get cold for like the next week, but I'm hoping to get a couple of weeks where it warms up. I know once I get to North Carolina and Georgia, it should warm up some. I can just make it through the cold in Virginia and Tennessee. The random things you come across just walking through the woods. And I picked it up, and on the bottom of it, it actually said random. But that's the trail just came up, so it's northbound. I've been coming uphill for a little bit. Now I'm going southbound. I have to go downhill for a little bit. Got about 4 more miles to the shelter. I don't know what time it is. My watch died. I meant to charge it a little bit this morning, but forgot all about it. But it's 12 something. So we should get to the shelter shortly after 2. Which is roughly when it's supposed to start raining. And then by 4 o'clock it's like 100% for several hours. So we should reach the shelter before the worst of it. So the Weather Channel says a 1/4 inch of rain. And the Appalachian Trail weather app says a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of rain. So how much rain we get, I have no idea, but I'm fairly sure rain we will be getting. For northbounders coming through when all the leaves are on the trees and you can't see anything, then Virginia would probably be pretty boring. But even though there's trees like all along the ridges, you can see in the valleys and the mountains and etc. So Virginia's not that bad when leaves are off the tree. Well, the rain started, except for it's not rain, it's sleet. Sleet's not as wet as rain. It's also an indication it may not be rain at all. It may rain in town and just be snow and stuff on the mountain, who knows. It seems to be quitting, so it didn't last very long. It did that last night, not too long after I set my hammock up, started sleeting. And it did it for maybe 30 seconds and then stopped. Hopefully we can close these last few miles out to the shelter before it decides to get too bad. The shelter's off the trail like 0.2 miles or something. And then the water is like another 0.2 down from it. But if it rains, I can collect water off the shelter roof. Made it to Helvey's Mill shelter. Well, not quite. I gotta go 0.3 more miles off trail, but oh, I leave tomorrow. That's the southbound way, and that's the way we just came up. The last mile or so has been pretty cruisy. So I suspect there's no one at the shelter, but you never know. And it's still early in the day. It's like 2 something. I'm guessing. I haven't looked lately. Well, somebody could show up in the next few hours. But it looks like I got lucky and I'm gonna beat the rain. It's not supposed to be super cold tonight, in the 30s. And then the high tomorrow is like 39. And tomorrow night's gonna get cold, back down in the 20s. But if the shelter's empty, we'll check it out when we get there. Here it is, pretty typical. I don't know if you can hear that, but it started raining about 50 yards from the shelter. It's not a heavy rain, but well, we beat it anyway. Got a fire pit, picnic table, Helvey's Mill shelter, and the privy. I can't see it from here. It's a pretty good ways back there, so. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to hang my hammock in the shelter or just lay out my Z-rest, but either way, I'll hang out in the shelter tonight.